Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome back to my channel. By the time I upload this video, I will have listed for sale in my Etsy shop 9 or 10 different napkin bundles. And as is typical for the way I approach things, I tried to group them in colorways. So this, I think I'm calling the blue-green bundle. I don't know where the paper is. It tells me how many pieces. This is the biggest one, and I'll just quickly flip through it. I will also be showing you various projects that I've used with napkins that are in various stages of completion. So if you're brand new to junk journaling and making ephemera and wonder about how you can integrate napkins into your projects, this will be a good cross-section of ideas. If you're more experienced and just have forgotten to dip into that resource and use up what's in your stash, then hopefully this will be a reminder. So I hope you can see that these napkins are a variety of sizes. Now, it's not going to be easy to list all of the sizes in the Etsy description area, but I guess, they'll range from these cocktail size to lunch and to whatever these tall ones are called, maybe dinner, and I don't know what that is. But anyway, let me just quickly flip through this and I'll. So the napkins vary not only in size, but also in quality and whether or not they're 2-ply or 3-ply. Now, I think that is also going to, that affects price as well. So I think you'll find this a good, affordable way to get started and get a variety of pieces to work with. Like, obviously, everything that I have here, I love. And I've used, well, I'd say probably all of them at one point or another. So, can never have too many hydrangeas. I see, so this one, for instance, basically you've got the one full-size design, and then the rest is just sort of the Harlequin border. And so, there will be a mixture of those kinds of things. I like this one. Now it's solid, and a person might think, well, why in the world would I want that? But I love it because it looks, number one, it's a rich color, and also it looks like, fabric linen. So again, these are ones that I like and have surplus pieces of. So that's why I've put the bundles together as I have. So that's the blue and green one. I'll show you a couple more at the end, but let's get right into some of the ideas. So these are, excuse me, Rolodex cards. Now, some of the items some of the images you see here may not be in the current kits, but, this one obviously is a combination of two different ones that you've just seen. The trees, maybe that's it from out of this batch. So when I was trying to make use of the vintage Rolodex holder that I have, I prepared a number of these bases. And like so many other things, started projects a person needs to get back to. So creating backgrounds for Rolodex cards is one idea. Again, various stages of completion. Using napkins on book page, age-old idea. And again, these are not finished, obviously. This is a heavier paper. This is dictionary paper. This is one of those, a piece of the those desk calendars that many of us use. I guess this is, nothing is ever too big or small to keep. This one is on music paper and could easily be, well, is a page. This is on, not file folder, don't think. Not sure, that could just be a heavier weight. And again, these little cutoffs, once you've decided if you're making page size pieces, these little strips also become little things that you can, you know, oh, how did this get in here? Become something that you can work on as well. Index pages. This is from an atlas. Love, love, love. Now, some of these napkins that you see here are napkins that I purchased from Etsy. So you're not going to see them in my bundles, of course, because I don't have extras to spare. I love the poppies. Again, that's part of my, I've said it before, I'll say it again, part of my you know, it's that whole Ukrainian thing. This is a napkin that I found at a garage sale. Now, if you haven't worked with napkins before, there are a couple of different strategies for adhering them to things. One, and maybe that involves less of these sort of boo-boos, is to apply glue stick to your substrate. So whatever it is that you're going to be adhering to, whether it's a book page, and of course, the thicker it is, the easier it is. This versus that first little dictionary page is, you know, world of difference in that. So by doing that, you're going to have less of this. However, this stuff is very fragile, and I'm not particularly bothered by any of this, because if I were to fold this and turn it into a something or other, cover for a little notebook or something, I would be covering those areas with a focal point and so on. Okay, let me show you something else. This is a little, well, essentially, I guess it was intended as a photo album. I would not leave this cover on, it's way too shiny. But inside were these pages and these plastic sleeves. So what I did, and I think that my idea here was to create an ephemera holder. This was a miserable napkin to work with, and I think I've finally used up the last of him. Was essentially to cover the plastic pouch on each side with napkin. This one worked better and was bigger, so I was able to cover the whole thing. This one is a favorite that I have, and I'm hoarding those pieces. Because of that, I only did one side, which, you know, in hindsight, or in just to make the point, would be easier to see anything that I might put inside there. This one is done on both sides, same with this. And again, they're not perfect, but it doesn't matter. Hydrangeas, more of these, more florals. This was a vintage one that, I mean, you can just tell by the colors that it's old, old, old. Oh, I probably had this in there to prevent it from sealing shut. Oh, I started telling you about the options for using, and I have to say, obviously, on something as slick as this, it is more challenging than on something matte that has a little bit of tooth to it. The other thing that people sometimes use is Mod Podge. I don't like Mod Podge because it stinks and because it never seems to fully dry. It seems to be tacky, you know, months, years after you've used it. So I don't understand that. The other thing people can use, and I have a lot of it, is matte medium. Now that tends to be more expensive, but I buy it when the art store has sales on and when I can buy it in large quantities like pails. These are potentially journaling cards. I don't know what happened there with the stitching. That needs some fixing. But you can see that, you know, it's 3/4 of the way there. It just needs a little more decorating. Another dictionary page. You know, you can see that here in some places, I've used the napkin kind of as one big piece. In other places, I've pieced it together and patched and so on. Because there will always be those little bits that, you know, we're not going to waste that. I love this succulent pattern. It is in one of the kits. This, you know, obviously these things need another step or two to finish them. Here you can see that I've used scraps from a couple different patterns. Need obviously something unifying to bring this together. More of that, more of that. This is an interesting project and really quite useful. And I believe I saw E on Scrapbooking with Me first do it. So it's a heavier weight folio. So in other words, the 2 pages from a book. And you can see the text through it, which kind of adds to it. Looks like I've overlapped at this area, which doesn't hurt, frankly, at the fold. I've zigzagged around the edge. I don't know if I glued or not. Can you see in there? I've wrapped some of the pattern around so that the edge is nicely covered. And you can tell from the bulge in it that it's been packed full. I just emptied the contents to show you today. I have a few of these and I love them. It's probably time to make some more. This, and again, some of these things, because they haven't been totally finished, are kind of bent. But here are some, you know, combination of security envelope innards, some scrapbooking paper, a couple of torn butterflies. This, again, butterflies, a floral cutout, security envelope, scrapbooking paper, and this was the pouch that I get my seasons tickets for the theater. And again, you know, so that needs completion. These are pieces of napkin that I glued to some game cards. And again, you can see the print, but as far as I'm concerned, that just adds another layer, another dimension. Oh, I'm not sure why this is here. It doesn't have any napkin on it. Sorry about that. Now, I suppose I should have trimmed these before showing them to you, but these are some old book pages. You can see that I usually run it past the edge, and it's easy enough to trim that off and square this up when it's time to use them. This is another one that I love because of the rich colors. I've used it a couple of times. Here's another one that I like, and again, you can really see through this one. And whether or not, you know, this becomes a pocket or an envelope, or, you know, the possibilities are there. This one is on, I think, some awful, something that I didn't like, a pattern that I didn't like. So it's just a collage of fall leaves. I put these polka dots because they seem youthful and fun on the Velveteen Rabbit book page. This is a pattern that's in the gold kit, soft gold tones kit. And this is, these are volleyballs, no basketballs. basketball? Anyway, some balls. And I don't know, would you have known that if I wouldn't have told you? Again, a good base too. And I had, obviously, coffee dyed the back. This is another napkin that I really like, and it's in the gray kit, Shades of Gray kit. And I put it over a black and white gingham paper, scrapbooking paper. These are some cutoffs from a kit or a napkin that, I just pieced together because I had the same pieces left because I was using the girls. This one is, excuse me, is in a kit. And I don't know whether you can make it out or not, but these are the letters of the alphabet. So it's just kind of, again, if you look for it, you'll see it. But if you don't, you probably won't. This is a darker toned napkin. But again, there's a place for that. More of the polka dots. This is on a dictionary page. I love this one because it just seems so old and kitschy. Dictionary. This is on a piece. I love these colors. The sort of coppery with shades of teal. This is on a heavier paper. I'll just quickly speed up here. Book pages. Here's the gray polka dot again on music paper and book pages. And you can see how it looks. Okay, this is an old Ukrainian book. You can see how the yellowing, the pure white, the, thin music paper all give you different results. And I guess that's something to keep in mind when you're deciding how to use your paper and where. This is that solid, excuse me, have a sip of water. This is that teal one that I showed you. I like the creases. I like the texture. A person could highlight those more by inking them. I like this because of the shades of blue. It's on a blue, I don't know, maybe cardstock. This one, you've seen, again, you can see the different results. This is on a pink paper. This is just sort of a book page. This, baseballs. This is from my Intricate Patterns bundle, and I love it. So, we'll see. Now, these were a mad experiment. I bought a binder at a thrift store that was, probably has 300 pages of this kind of paper. So it's kind of shiny, both sides, because you can tell that here. And I thought, can I make this work? Because there would be some inherent strength in something like that. It, you can see it didn't go particularly well. And as I recall, it almost drove me mad. However, I could try it again, and this time maybe scuff up the shiny stuff first. That may give better results. Okay, getting to the home stretch here. Then I have some journal covers. So this is the same one that you saw with the hot air balloons. I used the girls because I love them so much. Zigzag around the edges, scrapbook paper inside, and obviously another project that needs finishing. This is that, this is that succulent one that I showed you, and there's some layering going on here because I was using up odds and ends. Again, some scrapbooking paper as a lining, and this is pretty substantial. I think what would be best, here's another one. I think what would be best here is to give them a coat of matte medium or a sealant of some sort, you know, before, like when they're done. More projects to finish, and this was an animal print because who doesn't love an animal print? And again, these feel great. And I don't know if you've ever watched Andrea at Artie Mae's. She absolutely loves to sand her napkins down after she's put them, after she's, you know, got them adhered. I think this is going to be spectacular when I highlight some of the creases and the ridges in it. It is not sewn, but it could be. Okay, that's it for ideas. Let me just show you a couple more of the kits as a teaser. So this one is Floral Medley. It's got 18 pieces, and I'll really do this quickly. And I think you'll see that, you know, here it's more the theme than the color. Love this one. I'm surprised I don't have a sample of something because I think I have a pouch made out covered with that one. That's lovely and soft. This one is really old, I believe. Succulents, succulents, succulents. And of course these lilacs. So that is the floral, excuse me, floral medley with 18 pieces. And then the last one, oops. The last one I'll show you is what I'm calling Pretty in Pink. And oh, I didn't write the number of pieces on that little scrap of paper. But as I said, I think I've got 9 or 10 different bundles. Some of them are quite a bit smaller. Like I have one in shades of gray, and I think that might have 6 or 7 pieces. The intricate pattern one is probably 7. So anyway, you know, if you check it out, you can see what kind of appeals to you, what tickles your fancy. Or it can make you look harder at what you already own. Again, you can probably see my taste coming through these flourishy, swirly things. This is a cute one. Shoes, high heels, baking, cupcakes and stilettos. What more could you want? You've seen this one. You've seen this one. You've seen this one. This is a pretty pastel, and this would be great for spring. This one is kind of vibrant. This one has like the vintage barn board. This is the one with the polka dots and the florals. And you saw how nice that looked when you sort of piece it together. This is like a crazy quilt. A lot of possibilities there. That one you've seen, that one you've seen. You've seen that one, you've seen that one, and that is the last one there. So again, I will let you go here, encourage you to begin looking at napkins as an attractive and versatile resource in your crafting toolbox. If you need a starter kit of, you know, some pretty napkins or some solids and some prints and whatever, there's a nature themed bundle as well. Check out my Etsy store. There may be something that would appeal to you. And as always, I will end with my usual message. If you find value, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. And it helps me and to keep, you know, encouraged to keep creating and keep doing this. One thing that I want to say is that when a person decides to do YouTube videos, it becomes a whole new ballgame. Instead of me showing up and just doing whatever it is I want to do in the privacy of my own home, I am now, like every other YouTuber, am forced to plan and think and prep and think, well, okay, since I don't know how to splice videos or pause, or with this camera or with this phone I can't, I need to pretty well know that I can get through the whole thing like nonstop. So that means assembling all the things that I might need to avoid having to leave you to search for things. That wouldn't be an efficient way to do anything, as well as think it through. So if I show you part A now and then do something in between, is that going to be annoying, or is that going to be a good use of my time and yours? So it is a whole new thing. And I guess maybe that's just my way of saying, maybe you need to give your give your favorite YouTubers some love, because this is it definitely takes some time and care to bring quality videos to you for free. So again, thank you, and keep crafting, and we will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.